to the Movement Clinic. My name is Emily, and today we're going over side angle pose. So this is another in the Warrior 2 family of poses. If you haven't had a chance to already check out Warrior 2, please do. It'll be very, very helpful in understanding this one because essentially the lower half of the body is just Warrior 2. And then we're changing the orientation of the upper half of the body. Also in this series is triangle and half moon pose, excuse me. So please, 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 if you haven't already, go and check those out. But let's get started on side angle pose. So I'm gonna take my block. As you can see, I have a block. It'll help us here by making our arms longer. I'm gonna place it towards the top right edge of the mat. And just like we did in the Warrior 2, we're gonna start with nice wide legs. As with the rest of this family or series of poses, the bony hip points are trying to stay square to the long edge of the mat. Now, it's not a requirement, and by no means is this gonna actually happen, but our muscles are gonna work really, really hard to try to imagine that they will square to the long edge of the mat. So you might place your hands on those bony hip points or around your hips just to connect there. Now, gaze at your left foot and make sure that the pinky edge side of the left foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat, and really root down through the pinky edge side of the foot. Press this back thigh back powerfully. Notice that as you do, that side of your hip moves back. Great. Keep that. And gaze at the front foot and turn your right toes out so that they face forward towards the long edge of the mat. And as you root down through the base of your right big toe, externally rotate the leg from the hip. So you're literally just doing this with the leg and wrapping your outer right hip and butt cheek underneath you, okay? And notice that as you do, that starts to press this front part of your hip forward. So the muscles are trying to keep the hips squaring towards this long edge of our mat. Now, Warrior 2 legs mean that we just bend this front knee so that it's stacking or moving towards stacking over the front ankle. And this front knee tends to dip in. So again, just find that anchor of the base of the big toe to externally rotate from as this inner knee starts to draw towards the outer hip to find Warrior 2 legs. Now, for side angle pose, just like in triangle, we're going to lengthen and reach and flare this low waist and these ribs forward. Instead of collapsing down and rounding down, we're lengthening forward. So side angle is almost like Warrior 2 in the low half of the body and triangle in the upper half of the body. This is why I encourage you to watch all of these together. So lengthen forward, and let's place forearm on thigh to start. This is a nice modification that you can use. Keep the weight soft. Inhale, draw the low belly and round the low back, or exhale, round the low back. And inhale, sweep the top arm forward to lengthen out of that back foot and arch the upper back, so creating lots of length. Gaze can be wherever you would like. And inhale to round the low back, absorb these low ribs, and lengthen out through the upper part of the body. So let's try that on the other side. Turn your right toes to face in, left toes face out. Find this nice Warrior 2 on this side. I'm pulsing a little bit just to kind of reset my hips. Good. Root down through the outer edge of that back foot. Press the back thigh back. Root down through the base of the big toe on the left foot and spiral the inner knee towards the outer hip for that external rotation of this front leg. Now, left fingertips reach forward, flare, reach, 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 reach. Softly land the forearm on the thigh and sweep the right arm up and overhead. So tendency here is for ribs and low belly to dump and flare forward, right? We're gonna reverse that. We're gonna round the low back, draw the low belly up and in. Keep the low ribs absorbed, but lengthen and arch the upper back. And this top arm is really lengthening out of that back foot. And let's come back through center. And here's where you can try on the other side. So front toes turn out. Find your warrior two, and this is where you can start to play with maybe using a block outside of that front ankle on any level to get lower and lower. And maybe someday you're able to get rid of it altogether. But again, just a shape. Don't worry about what shape anyone else makes. Just worry about your ability to do this safely, effectively, and mindfully in your own body. So that is side angle pose. I hope that you enjoyed. Next, we're going to explore half moon. So please feel free to join me if you have time and energy. I look forward to seeing you next time on the Movement Clinic.